Did you miss us?
Did you, John? Did you miss us?
I think we were missed. I don't know. By 54 people, we were missed right now.
That's right, and counting.
And counting. Of course, that's just our live audience on Facebook Live.
We're back. I thought there'd be like new music or like a spruced up studio.
You guys didn't do shit in here. Let's just be honest. It looks exactly. The door had like cobwebs on it when we opened it.
We actually did make sure that it got cleaned.
Did it?
It's been
look,
dusted. The
really?
dust that was accumulating on your chair
it's embarrassing.
is gone.
It's embarrassing.
Feel it. No
like
dust.
we had all these plans. Yeah,
no
great.
dust.
Thank
man.
you. No dust. But we had all these plans when we were gone. We're going to revamp the studio.
And then we're
going to line up our guests.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything.
We were just like, John was like, I wonder if these buttons are going to work when he walked in. Hi, John.
Hey.
Hi, Jill.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
What's up? Welcome back, you guys.
Yay.
Seriously, we literally haven't talked to each other.
Not much. Pop-up pod here and there.
I didn't really talk to John very much at the pop-up pod. I was trying not to. Just to be
to
consistent. I was trying to go a whole summer without talking to John Besmar.
We were trying to save him as the only
Guys.
Republican in French Lick that weekend. Well,
yeah,
at the hotel.
I missed the
not
VCal
even.
for
They're
that
hiding.
one.
You what?
I missed the VCal.
Yeah,
Sorry
about
bad.
that. But, you know, the thing is, that's the last vestige of a boys' trip I have is French Lick IDEA.
Yeah.
It's tradition.
fine.
It is
No,
tradition.
you know what, Jill? I've heard this complaint from the women in my administration before. And I ignored them, and I'm going to continue ignoring them. And no offense, though, I like you a lot, and it would be a lot of fun. But I'm just going to keep on marching forward in my chauvinistic way.
The
With
one
that, I'm not a
last
chauvinist.
vestige.
I was raised by women, for the record. Okay, I was raised by my mom and my sisters. Okay, let's just put that very, very clear out there. I love women.
Your
all right?
administration reflects that.
But this is all I got. That's all I got. That's it. I had a whole bunch of boys' trips, and they just got whittled away.
That's true.
And this is all I got. This is it. French Lick, IDEA.
The RV and not even the RV.
We didn't
this
have a
year.
damn RV this year.
By the way.
So thanks Obama.
Thank
Supply
you.
chain broke down.
They were blaming Obama
It was,
on
yeah,
everything.
dude. This started back in 08, 012, you know, in that area.
Thank you, Dick.
012,
Thank
yeah.
you, Dick Nixon.
Thank you. Thanks, Obama. It's his fault. Everything's Obama's fault.
I want to thank our premier sponsor, Powering America, premier sponsor this year.
Let me throw up this disclaimer. While you're
Yeah, that's
The
right.
views expressed on this show do not reflect Powering America at all.
Powering America does not blame Obama for the supply chain issue.
That'd be great. Nice blinking, John.
Yeah.
Good work. All right. Well, anyway,
Aren't you
welcome
going to
back.
read the commercial?
No, that's for later. That's just we just have to say.
I think Powering
this
America,
is new
they
things.
paid so much, they should get extra
That's why they
attention.
get mentioned at the beginning,
Really?
the end, and we read their ad.
Powering America.
Just play along.
Okay.
All right.
Powering America is
Welcome
our main
back.
sponsor. Thank you for Powering America. For
You've done it.
Yes.
By the way, thanks for all the
missed
DMs, the posts, and the thank yous we got, and like welcome backs. And we miss you.
I got way less hate mail than normal.
Wow.
I know. People forgot about us.
They did.
It was nice.
You were totally
I
forgotten.
still get hate mail. Don't get me.
But
I
not-
put it
but the
in.
volume went down?
Mailbag has some hate mail.
We're going to get to mailbag later. John, mailbag? Not
We
yet.
do have mailbag. By the way, we're going to start back on our regular schedule. Thank you for appeasing us during the summer. We all had, between the Fest and Beatles Fest and Wham, we all had summer activities and family vacations.
All
Jill,
kinds of stuff.
Jill, did you go overseas? Usually.
No, I'm supposed to go in October, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Where are you going?
I'm supposed to go to Scotland.
Because we're dirty Americans, and we don't like being told what to do.
Yeah,
So,
but the
like, we're
European
not
Union
welcome.
likes to tell us.
Yeah, European
Yeah.
Union's like, we have standards, and you nasty vaccine-ridden Americans are not welcome
I noticed,
here.
like, we're in the, not that these are bad countries, but I noticed the other countries that were listed, Israel, North Macedonia, maybe, I forgot what else. But anyway, there's others.
Is Israel having a problem with vaccinations?
They must
also?
be.
Wow,
that
that's
or maybe
crazy.
they're having a surge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, John, Beatles Fest, good. I want to talk about what we did when we were away. Beatles
Oh.
Fest, how'd it go?
Speaking of
Number
unvaccinated,
15.
how'd
Moving right
goes
along.
down?
I can't help but think of the weather. I mean, yet
Jill
again.
just moved away from John.
Let me go to the Jill.
We're going to
cam
do a
here.
mask requirement in Lockpod Studio.
Jill just social distanced.
Yeah.
It was great, man. It was, my labor of love that is Beatles Fest. It was another great year.
You had one of my favorite artists this year, Chad. Chad from Crop Puppies.
Chad Clifford.
They were
Mega
great.
Beatles.
Mega Beatles was
I love Chad.
fantastic, John.
Love Chad in a fan type of love way. Chad is a badass, and he's super talented, and I got to know him over the years between Fest and just watching him, and that guy could play almost anything, and he's super, super talented. Right, John?
Yeah, we had a huge, lineup for the big anniversary. We had Mega Beatles and then American English right after, and a bunch of great bands before that. So it was awesome.
I've seen American English a couple times.
Yeah, they were good. They did their costume change from like I Want to Hold Your Hand Beatles or Meet the Beatles to
psychedelic.
To their psychedelic
Sgt.
Pepper Beatles.
Yeah, it was awesome.
John, I thought the T-shirts, which I didn't even get one because they sold out so quickly. They just had like the Roman numeral 15 on. They were great.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, man, for throwing me one. I mean,
John didn't get one. His mom even sold his own T-shirt.
I did not get a T-shirt.
All right, I don't remember that, dude. Oh my God! Next year, I think the RV is a little full. We're cutting back on Republicans next year at IDEA, John. I'm gonna analyze everybody I bring and identify the Republicans and cut them out.
No.
Yeah, I like T-shirts, by the way.
Kevin's not lying. I didn't even get a T-shirt.
It
sold out so fast.
That makes me feel better. No,
should.
Right.
Should.
So Wham, we did really well this year. Jill, I know you worked really hard on Wham. We had 1,000 riders.
Yeah, roughly 1,000.
That's right. That happened since we were last on. 1,000 riders rode around Northwest Indiana and
in the dark,
middle of dark,
in
and
the street.
It was a great route.
It was a little bit
great
of a
time.
Bad tour. Bad.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
There was
an internal meeting.
We don't need to get into that.
It was a little confusing, but it made for excitement. Everybody was going head on into each other.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
2 a.m.
Yeah, everybody was barreling right towards each other on little bike paths.
Survival of the fittest.
I mean, whatever. It was just one
the
person dropped the ball, and then the whole course got screwed up. Anyway.
When there's a fork in the road, there needs to be some pylon.
There's literally a fork in the road. Some people went left, some people went right.
Because there was
and it was chaos at the bottom.
Was this what 4-Right was railing about for years? Like we need
4-Right?
No, this is a different issue.
Okay.
Dr. Mike messes up the route every single year.
And we almost hit him head on. Like Wicker Park, he was like deer in headlights when we were like, dude, Mike.
I laughed for 10 minutes because 4-Right tries to win Wham, and it's not a race. First off, let's make it clear.
It's a ride, not a race.
4-Right, sometimes late at night he has mental issues he has to work through. Never during the day, of course, because he's a doctor. But at nighttime, sometimes he's a little foggy. And he blamed Jake Jacobs one year.
Yes.
Jake Jacobs steered me wrong. I'm like, he's out there taking pictures, dude. He's not.
And there's a sign right in front of him.
So who's 4-Right blamed this year?
Probably Jill.
We gotta bring him on and ask him about this.
Mm-hmm.
Was it your fault, Joe?
No.
It was one person's fault. I'm trying to remember who.
Well, I think
I don't think we need to call anybody out.
I'm calling him out. I think it was a college browner. Let's just blame a college browner.
I think it was a police officer.
I think it was a college browner.
No,
it's just
we'll
a
find
nameless.
Out. Not that I want to blame police officers.
By the way, another thing that's happened since we came on, that's sort of like the bit we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What have we done since then?
Yes.
Since mid-July when we were last on. Pepsi strike finished.
Oh, man, John. Yeah, actually, look at that. That photo
that was a good
taken
photo.
During the middle of the strike, and I loved how you just laid down the law and said, "This strike needs to be over by the 20th."
Ugh.
And they ended the strike on the 19th.
And
we were in contact with Coke.
I know,
ready to roll.
Oh, and it hit me one day when I was pulling in during the strike. Obviously, the Teamsters have always supported me, and I love the Teamsters. Teamsters have always, Local 142 works in the city of Hammond. We have great relationships with the leadership and the members. So when they go on strike across the street from our studio, of course, where I'm going to fall in that battle. We're falling with the workers,
easy.
the blue collar workers.
Mm-hmm.
And we supported them as much as we could. We honked, we marched with them, we took pictures. And then after about a month, it was like Pepsi was not getting the memo.
And
so
you sent a memo.
I pull into work one day, and I see a huge Pepsi truck being driven by a scab driver, unloading Pepsi into our city hall. And I was like, that's it. That's it. And we set a deadline.
Of August 20th.
And I was like, these guys are never. First off, Pepsi's probably going to dig in even harder now that we set a deadline. And we were like, we are going to break our contracts, go with Coke, and never, ever look back. Personally, I'm not going to say it because I'm a region guy, but I sort of like Coke myself. I mean, Coca-Cola, for the record.
Guy.
You people cutting that clip out. I love Coca-Cola. I do love the taste of it. I think it tastes better.
I like Pepsi.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Mm-hmm. Everybody has their own
This is
things,
America.
Right. That's right.
Isn't Coke a little more refined? That would make sense why Kevin likes it.
Does it
likes
still have
Pepsi.
cocaine in it?
Coke used to have cocaine in it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Pepsi just has a lot of sugar. I
Back when it was
I don't
real
drink a lot
popular.
of pop, actually.
I just can't put this stuff down.
But when I do,
I'm talking
I drink
about Coke
Pepsi.
again.
I know. Well, good job, by the way.
I don't drink soft
and,
drinks.
congratulations to the Teamsters and to Pepsi to get together and get it done. It seemed to me like nobody was happy, which means it's usually a good deal.
I agree with that statement. That's usually a good deal.
Yep.
And everybody's a little bit pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a little bit pissed.
Mm-hmm. So good
And
work.
Everybody's a little bit pissed at me, too, probably, because I know the management's probably not super thrilled.
Well, you know what? They kept their contracts with the city.
You know what, though, was crazy is all of our festival shirts, and, they were a major sponsor for the fest. and
many of them got worn. Many of them
I did not. It had a huge logo on
You
the side.
couldn't-
I'm not going to walk around with a stupid Pepsi
Not in the
logo
middle
on.
of a
No,
strike.
right in the middle of a strike.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
Well, good job. I'm glad you laid down the law. I'm glad they got to the table. And,
I don't know how much it had to do with the end of the day. How much
Good
it had to
timing,
do.
though.
It was the day before. The day before our deadline, they settled.
I was
which
not
nice.
looking forward to sending out those notices of termination of contract. So good work, everybody.
Why you were worried, right?
No, I mean, I think you never want to, break a contract that you don't have to, and they settled. So
We
that
don't
was
have
good.
to drink soft drinks. We don't
We
even
don't.
have to buy them.
We don't.
I can buy root beer if I want.
I don't know if you saw
That would
that.
suck. I am going with root beer.
There
was
is
like,
a-
what the hell? Like,
I remember during the last big European soccer finals over the summer, like Coke or Pepsi was a sponsor, and one of the biggest soccer guys in the world, Ronaldo, was like, "Why do I have this Coke here? Get rid of it. I'll drink water."
good.
Oh, that was
Good for
nuts.
him.
I remember seeing
Class.
that.
I was
Good
like,
for him.
"Whoa!" He's like, "We're not." He's like, "We're athletes. We're not drinking this
Good
stuff."
for
Right.
him.
Yeah,
That stuff
it's
sucks.
interesting.
Who drinks root beer, by the way? Like communists?
Man,
What?
well,
Root beer's
back
great.
when there was,
Root beer
oh yeah, I
float.
love root
Throw
beer.
some ice cream in it.
Root beer's
Really?
American, man.
Really?
A&W,
I think it's-
Dogs and Suds. Does anybody remember those places?
I grew up in California. Thank you.
Vaguely.
You
I
know
had it.
those?
I've heard of
Yeah,
that.
dude.
A&W?
California. I think it started in California.
Come on.
You freaking Midwesterner. Come on now.
You're saying it's communist.
Well,
That
I
would
was
make
just saying,
sense.
people that drink root beer-
California.
people that drink root beer, I consider communists. All right. Whatever.
Wow.
Do you drink? If you have a
Root
root beer
beer is-
float, I will you'll slide in under.
I'm with root beer being very, very American.
I agree.
Disagree.
All right.
Yeah.
Speaking
John,
of
time for a
California,
poll.
Can't wait for that recall election, man.
Dude,
Gonna
it's
get
coming.
that money.
You know what, man? It was a $100 bet, right?
It was.
I think
Is
we
it illegal to
doubled it.
bet? We did not double it.
I
Shut
think
the
we
hell up.
did.
No, you're freaking pull up the. We bet $100, dude. I'm not feigning ignorance on that, but we did not double.
What
it.
are you scared?
I am scared. Yeah, I think Newsom might go down actually. Which
That'd
is
be
crazy.
interesting.
You know what?
Well.
I'm telling you, man.
Time for you to bring out your hat.
I think
John.
it sucks. I don't think it's fair that you're blaming a politician for a pandemic. Like that's what they're doing. They're blaming Gavin Newsom because we're mad. There's a pandemic. I have to wear a mask,
Yep.
and our state's on fire. It's not Gavin Newsom's fault. Your state's on
On
fire.
either of those
It's
things.
not Gavin Newsom's fault. The pandemic happened. Like people expect perfection, and like nobody knew what we were going through. I was a mayor. I had no idea how to deal with a pandemic. I was doing what everybody else was doing, just trying to be safe and save
trying to
lives.
do what's best for your city.
Now all these Monday morning quarterbacks are looking back like, oh, Gavin Newsom screwed up so bad. It's like, screw you, man. Gavin Newsom's a super smart, ambitious guy. He's a good governor who unfortunately was governor when a pandemic hit. And everybody's blaming him.
and
It's
when
bullshit.
everything got warmer and things burned.
Yeah, it's like it's Gavin's fault. Get
Yeah.
the hell out of here. It's such stupidity, man. America is in a dangerous place right now. America's in a dangerous place right now. It really is. It's really sad what's going on in our country right now. And John's,
A lot of blame game.
John's Republican, and John wants to see Gavin go down because he's a Democrat, I imagine. It's not like you care about the job he's done, right, John?
Hasn't the recall stuff been going on before the pandemic though?
No. That
Started
happened
during the
It
pandemic?
happened after he went to dinner in Napa Valley. We're in the
Right,
middle of
without
the
his
lockdown.
mask on.
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't, I mean, that's what he did wrong.
That's when it gained some momentum.
But like, goddamn, are we gonna kick a governor out for eating dinner with a bunch of friends? Come on, man. That's so stupid.
Well, I mean, it goes to. I mean, John's talked about this a lot with cancel culture and how things just blow up and over
I agree
one
with that.
photo and
I
one
agree with
thing
that,
and-
man.
yeah.
I agree. John's right on that. It's not right what's going on in our country, and we're running people out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Andrew Cuomo. Since we last talked, he's no longer governor.
It's a little bit of a different situation, I think.
No,
than
I
Gavin
agree.
Newsom, but
It's a no. I totally agree. Gavin Newsom did nothing illegal, whereas Andrew Cuomo, borderline, did something
maybe
illegal.
over the line. They're looking into it.
Right, borderline or over the line. I mean, he obviously was about to get impeached, which is a totally different story. But I honestly have watched Gavin Newsom my entire career because Gavin Newsom got elected to mayor of San Francisco the same time I got elected mayor of Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
We sort of were the same age. I think we are the same age. We combed our hair the same way. We looked similar. I heard it all the time. I met him a couple times. We laughed about it. And I watched his whole career. And I was jealous of him, quite frankly. He was lieutenant governor, governor. This guy's a badass.
Married to who's Don Trump Jr.'s wife now? Is
No.
that right? Or wait,
What?
which
No
one?
way.
Wait,
No way. Dude,
Who was
are
he
you
married to?
insane?
Who was he married to?
If he married Donald Trump's daughter, he'd get impeached.
no,
just for that.
Donald Trump Jr.'s wife. Like, isn't he married? Or maybe it's Don
He was
Trump's
married
girlfriend.
He was married to
Guilfoyle, right?
I don't think so, man.
Oh, I thought so, but
No,
anyway.
I don't think so.
You're going to ask me what I did over my break?
Wait,
no,
before
I'm not,
I-
because
I
you
can
just
tell.
like,
It's
you
all
just
about you.
blame Gavin Newsom. No, it's not.
I thought he was married to one of the Trump kids' girlfriends or wives.
I don't know if he's married. He was married, and he was married to like a anchor for like CNN, and Something happened.
Chat says he was married to her.
Right.
Yes.
No.
Was.
Is she the one?
Ex-wife. I thought Guilfoyle.
Yeah.
Is that
Fox
the one?
News.
No kidding.
Yeah, the one that was like
her?
crazy at the convention.
Yeah.
Crazy
He
eyes.
was married to her?
Your mom just confirmed it.
2001 to
I
2006.
I convinced my mom, I hope, to not vote for recall on Governor Newsom. I've been
Yes.
lobbying. I have a few votes
Good.
out there. I've been lobbying. I'm like, come on, man. Seriously?
Good.
My mom's a good voter, and she's a good Democrat.
And she's not voting recall, right?
I hope not.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Do the right thing, Susan.
What? Why? What did he do so bad, John?
What did? I mean,
Yeah.
You
Come
want to
on
get
now.
in?
Yeah.
You think he handled the pandemic perfectly?
Here he goes, right on the
What did he do wrong?
pandemic.
What did he do wrong?
You shut everything down. Like
That's what a
Every
lot of
state
people
did.
did.
So did
John.
Holcomb.
That's what a lot of
Should we
people did.
recall
John.
Holcomb? Holcomb did a
I
good
love
job.
it. Crickets. Could you do cricket sound for me? Cricket.
Dude,
cricket,
I'm just
cricket.
I'm frozen from being
Frozen from like
being baffled.
being confronted with their like bullshit. Is what
Republican
you're frozen
governors
by.
shut down the states. I think those. I mean, in
Gavin
reality,
Newsom
I've
was
said
being
I thought
careful.
Holcomb did a pretty good job. In
Gavin
Indiana.
Newsom was being careful, and we're gonna like knock the guy out for being careful. Come on, man. Seriously, knock him out in the next election. There should be, unless you commit a felony or something, you should not get recalled. I'm mad because there's a pandemic and my hills are on fire. It's Gavin Newsom's fault.
Didn't Trump say something about the California wildfires? Like, well, if they wouldn't have left the brush.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
was
You
like,
got to go
what?
rake them. Go rake the forest.
There's not that many.
Your mom
acres.
said she did not vote for recall.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Love you, Mom.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you. My mom said.
By the way, nice to see her in town.
Yeah, she came out for a week.
That was
Her
awesome.
and her friend. You know what? The first thing, her and her friend Sherry are good friends. I've known Sherry my whole life. Okay, and they flew out here and they're funny together. They're like best friends and they like they like to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first, I picked them up from the airport and they're driving them around the region and around Chicago, and they were both like, "It is so green out here. It is so green.
Wow.
Like it's so funny. We just
Isn't
take
that
it for
crazy?
granted." They're like, "That's it's funny. Every time I pick up my friends from Cali, they always say the same thing. It's like, wow, like look at how green it is."
Recall
and we just
Gavin
take.
Newsom, man.
I know. Like, what's going on, Gavin? Why
not
don't you
green
water?
enough.
Why don't you water the mountains, Gavin? Such bull crap.
Water the mountains.
Do we? By the way, John, do we know the date on that? The recall?
I don't know. I'll look it
Coming
up
up.
here.
Yeah.
I think it's in September. I know one thing you did, Kevin.
Yes.
You ran a triathlon with me in Culver.
Well, not really. I did like the
It was a sprint.
duathlon.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah. I
forgot.
I didn't do the swim.
You should.
I did the run,
You could've done
bike,
it.
run.
I was willing to risk your life. For
I
the swim.
appreciate that. I should have done it, but I wasn't confident. I got to get my swimming better.
See,
I
the
just
swim
have
in
to.
Culver was deeper water than the swim I just did in Lake Michigan. It was only like 12,
Congrats,
13.
by the way.
Thank you.
Awesome. That was Mayor Tom, 2 triathlons since we last saw him.
Yeah, I've
the
done
sprint
3
in
now.
Culver
Uh-huh.
and the big one in Chicago.
Yeah,
which was awesome. I mean,
that was my goal for
you-
Chicago.
I went up there. Thousands. There's Mayor Tom with his shirt off with Judge Marissa.
You can see my. It's not very often you can see my nipples.
Well,
But
there
you
you
can
are.
see my nipples in that picture.
That's
Just my
okay.
left nipple.
I was just focusing on the nice photo. Really.
Marissa asked me to hide my right one, so
Yeah,
I did.
that was
I just
smart.
left the left one hanging out
But
there.
great work, by the way. Look at that with the medal.
Dude,
post.
it was 95 degrees in that picture. It was so damn hot.
When you were coming in. Actually, tell you the truth.
Kevin, by
I
the way,
talked to
thank you. Thank you for being there.
No worries.
You're a sweetheart. You are a nice guy, man.
I wanted to see the finish.
I
want to make sure you
I
survived.
didn't see Vesmar or Jill there, by the
That's
way.
okay.
Just want to point that
I
No,
was
out.
I was in the
out.
air conditioning.
I noticed though after this try and after Leon's, you were so much more. I thought you weren't as much out of breath. You were in such a better space.
Yeah.
After this one, like
I
I
went
felt like
slower,
you
though,
were.
Kev. I went slower in the run on this one.
Yeah, but I
But
thought you
the
finished. You were like,
humidity,
"Hey, what's
though,
up? Let's go get a drink. Let's go get a drink of water." You were talking with everybody. Everything was
Well, you
good.
know what the bigger problem when I crossed the finish line was? I was so wet everywhere. Everything I had was wet, like
Yeah.
every square inch of my body, and I couldn't turn my watch off. And I was super concerned with that.
like when your phone's wet.
you know
right?
how you
can't
like slide your hand
You
and it
can't
wouldn't
swipe.
move. And I'm
Oh,
like,
that's so
dude, I
funny.
can't. And I'm like, my run time's getting screwed up. So Marissa's like, honey, thanks so much. I'm like, can you wipe off my watch? Like, and she turned it off.
The
for
important
me.
things.
And then that was important to me. But
It was
weird.
very cool, by the way.
It was so hot, dude. That run was 6 miles.
How was the swim in the lake versus the swim in Wolf Lake?
It was ridiculously challenging. Like, so much harder.
Yeah, just
So-
the waves or
Yeah,
more people.
The waves. You know how you told me when you swim, you get slapped in the face a lot?
Yep.
I never do. I got slapped in the face like 20 times on this one and like swallowing water.
Yeah, see that?
Tasted like Hammond water, funny enough. I tasted really good.
By
I
the
was
way,
like, dude,
I know-
we don't even have to filter this water.
Did you know
I
the
drank
announcer?
I drank like a half a gallon.
John, the announcer at the try was like, Tom McDermott's in the water, the mayor of Hammond.
Nice.
He's actually swimming towards Hammond, then he's gonna swim back.
He's like,
That's great.
yeah, he did.
That's pretty
Right
cool.
before he goes, we were going up. I was with the Clydesdales, which are the big boys. because I was trying to compete. I thought I might win, and then I realized
I think you should have stayed in your age group.
I agree, because I'm like running against 21-year-old Clydesdales. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're big and you're 21. Like, they killed me, but I thought I had a better chance there. And as it turns out, I probably should have run against the old guys. But anyway, yeah. So I go up and we're getting ready to jump in the water. He goes, Tom McDermott.
You're like,
I'm
what?
like,
Did I
what?
get disqualified?
Raise your hand.
What did
And
I
raise
do?
my hand. He goes, Mayor Hammond, everybody, and everybody like claps, and I'm like, hey, and then
Then they all took
in.
off.
And then I jumped in,
That's cool.
and then I was wearing a full wetsuit. The water was super cold. Not
Oh,
It was
really?
like 74. It was perfect actually. With the wetsuit on, it was like, and my wetsuit's so good, I literally didn't move a muscle, and I was floating on the water.
Oh,
I'm just like,
wow.
without moving,
That's what I need.
just like floating.
I've been swimming in the lake, but I've not been wearing a wetsuit, so it's been rough.
You should get one.
Yeah. So good job, by the way. Congrats. That's really huge.
Okay, check.
And you set the
interesting
goal.
Interesting fact. When I got out of the water, I was wiped, like big time. I was actually questioning like whether I could finish the swim, and then when I got out of the water, I was worried. I was like, dude, I'm tired. Like, I've never been tired after the swim before, and I'm like, I still got a bike and I still got to run, right? So I get out, and I'm always checking my pulse and all that, and I was 140 when I got on my bike.
When you got on your bike?
So I was probably 150 getting out of the water, and it wound down.
Because that's usually high for you, right? You try
yeah,
to keep your
140
swim
is super high for me.
in the water.
140, I'm usually never 140 unless I'm running. Okay. So I hit my bike, I'm at 140, and I'm sort of like tired, right? And I'm like worried. And I start riding. It's uphill for like, I don't know.
But on Lakeshore Drive, right?
On Lakeshore Drive, but it's uphill up until we went way past Wrigley Field, north from Navy Pier.
Yeah,
all
I
the
think
way
you
up
went
to
all the way to Hollywood.
We
Turned
did.
around, yeah.
So it's at, I don't know, 12, 6 north, 6 south.
Sure.
Ish, 7 north, 7 south, something like that. So I'm going uphill the whole way, and I got done with the whole 25-mile ride. And, I love riding. I got off the bike, my pulse was 133.
Interesting.
I actually rested, and I ate a full breakfast. I ate 2 apples, a banana, a goo bar.
That run had to be so hot because that's when it started getting warmer, probably about 10:30.
Yeah, I messed up, man, by not running with my group. I would have been done at 10:30 as opposed to 11:30.
Because you'd gotten the water
so
earlier.
much hotter when I went. So much hotter.
Well, next year when you do
Yeah.
it, you'll run with your group.
Yeah, I'm not running Clydesdale. I actually had to put weight on to run with the Clydesdales. I was like chowing.
I want to get bigger.
Actually, I'll be honest with you, because I was really drinking a lot and I hydrated super well. And Doc Forite gave me an IV the day before the event.
Nice.
Yeah, because
It's good to have a doctor on hand.
Yeah, I felt like I was training for the Tour de France or something, but it was nice. I was super glad.
Well, good work, man.
It was about 4 miles into the run when I was hating life, and I realized I'm going to finish this thing. It's not going to be super fast, but I'm going to be done.
That was good.
I was proud of myself.
Very good.
Yeah.
What else do we do? Pop up pod at IDA for those that watched it. Thank you.
fun.
That was good to kind of get back.
And for our guests.
By the way, unbelievable guests.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody.
We had Mayor Joe Hogsett from Indianapolis.
Yep.
Mayor Clint Lamb, Southern Indiana. Mayor
Sullivan.
from Sullivan, Indiana. We had Mayor Dave Uran, Mayor Crown Point. From the Indiana Democratic Party, we had Drew Anderson, who's the communications director and just an awesome, badass, political guy. We also had Destiny Scott Wells, who's the coordinator for outreach, something along those lines.
She was great.
She's a veteran. She's an Army reservist. She's
Army intelligence.
I think by most accounts in the Democratic Party, she's a rising star, and I can see why.
Yeah, she's a badass. It was great having her on.
Yeah, she's tough.
Yep.
No doubt about it.
I like her.
I remember I met her. I think I met her Thursday or Friday, and then I forgot I met her, and then like Friday or Saturday when I met her again, I was like, "Hey, I'm Mayor Tom." She's like, "You met me the other night." She was like, she was rough about it. I'm like, "Whoa, okay. I will not forget that again. I promise you."
She'd be somebody I'd love to have on again.
Yeah. I think we will have her on.
She's in the chat right now.
Oh, hi, Destiny.
Oh,
Nice to see you.
nice, Destiny.
Yeah.
Good
Thanks,
to see
Destiny.
you.
Yeah, Destiny was a great guest, and like after interviewing her and meeting her a couple times, I could see why people talk about her and her future in the party the way they do, because she's a badass. So it's good to see she's a Lockpod listener and subscriber now.
Yeah, thank you.
So anyway, why don't we go ahead and do some ads, and then we got some local issues. Not local. They're issues that are locally happening, but they're interesting, I think, to a lot of people. It has to do with quarantines, masks in school, has to do with the fire in Lake Tahoe, which really hits home close for me because I've gone to Lake Tahoe.
Not local, but important to
Well, it's
Mayor
important, and I went
Hometown.
to Lake Tahoe like my whole life for family
Without a doubt.
vacations,
We'll get into
so.
that. So, and we're going to keep going, and I'm sure we're going to talk about this Senate thing that's coming.
Yeah,
around.
and I'm going to talk about the decision-making behind my decision to file to run against Todd Young for the United States Senate. We're going to definitely hit on that towards the end of the show, and it's great to see our audience finally hit triple digits. I feel like we're back in business.
I
That's
really
the
want
live
to thank
audience.
those that were there in the beginning, though.
Yeah, but like honestly, and a lot of you are listening. Some of you haven't listened the whole time. You could subscribe to our show, and it downloads automatically on your Apple phone through Spotify, Apple Pod is where I listen to it.
iHeartRadio,
Stitcher. We also have a YouTube channel. We get a lot of views on the YouTube channel.
All those things Jill is going to say.
I'm sorry. Well, we're going to repeat it. We don't have to just say it once, right?
Right. I'm just reminding you.
Why don't you go ahead and say that, Jill?
All right, Jill, do it. And then we'll do our ads.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Left of Center, where we cover everything from politics to important events of the day in the Midwest and the nation, all while having way too much fun while doing it. If you can't get enough of us, follow us on Facebook at Left of Center Podcast or on Twitter at LockPod. If you can't listen in live, you can download our episodes on the Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, and iHeartRadio apps. Just search Left of Center and look for the red and blue logo. Don't forget to subscribe and rate on every one of those applications. If you'd like to advertise on our show, send an email to steve@lockpod.com.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, Jill.
How about our ads? How about our sponsors, Mayor?
I'll start with Powering America. How about that? It's such a cool name.
Powering America.
Powering America.
Their marketing team did a good job.
I like. It's the premier sponsor. Season 4 is powered by our premier sponsor, Powering America. There was an exclamation point.
You did it well.
All right, I'll do it again, okay?
All right,
Just
ready.
cut this part out at the end, okay, John? Season 4 is powered by our premier sponsor, Powering America. With the explosive there I go, right off there.
Right.
With
Take
the
two.
explosive growth of renewable energy in America today, call Powering America to meet your needs for renewable energy in your home or office, including electric vehicle chargers and solar-powered solutions. Trust the electrical professionals of Powering America.
There was no exclamation point on that.
I'm just doing it.
You're in.
Visit poweringnorthwestindiana.org. That's Powering Northwest, full word, Indiana, full word.org.
No dots.
No dots, no abbreviations. Poweringnorthwestindiana.org. Thank you for being our premier sponsor.
Byway Brewing is a family-friendly microbrewery with a spacious tap room and outside patio. Brewing equipment offers a unique backdrop for your private event like weddings, reunions, and corporate parties. They're conveniently located just off of 8094 at the Kennedy Avenue South exit. Come on by and enjoy Byway's award-winning beers and unbeatable menu. Hit that patio before it's too late.
It's unbeatable.
It's unbeatable.
You cannot beat that patio.
It's a beautiful
Or
patio.
their food. I like their
good
beer.
too.
I don't drink a lot of beer, but I like their beer. But their food rocks the world. And by the way, their beer is like award-winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have them.
Indiana's best brewery when it first opened.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Byway. That's what I'm talking about. Byway freaking brewery.
Go check them out.
That's right. Challenger Learning Center. Explore the far reaches of space and engage in hands-on learning at the Challenger Learning Center of Northwest Indiana. Connecting with Challenger is... Oh, my goodness. I'm killing it today.
These reads are good.
Connecting with Challenger Northwest Indiana is easy. To learn more about Challenger Center and their upcoming events, visit clcnwi.com. That's clcnwi.com, or connect on social media at Challenger NWI. And they are also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Challenger Learning Center.
I'm happy to have this sponsor back. Misprint. Rick Baltenberger and his team. Misprint specializes in delivering the highest quality signs and printing on time and within budget. Well, there was an exclamation point. And within budget.
On time and within budget.
Misprint's experience in technology allows them to offer custom, commercial, on-demand printing and sign solutions you can count on. They've served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. They have 2 convenient locations in Munster and Hammond. Misprint Printing.
I love the exclamation points.
Yeah,
they have served Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana for over 30 years. That's
no more from wrapping cards to business cards.
From wrapping cards to business cards. Wrapping cars to business cards.
Didn't make the read this year.
I know.
Dude.
People are changing. That's why we're stumbling.
This is so funny in the chat. So someone said, speaking of Byway, tell Phil I never got the gift card I want. That was from how many episodes ago?
Way to go, Phil.
Phil, you are
that was the
giving us
episode
a bad
when
reputation.
that was when him and Jeff were on.
Yeah, right.
That was forever ago.
What a bunch of crap.
Jill, can you follow up with that?
We
please?
lost. Yeah,
Let me
Phil.
text him right now.
Dude.
What is it? Like $100? We all agree, right?
I thought it was less than
Whatever.
that.
No,
Phil,
there's
no,
a
you're right.
penalty.
Phil was paying for it.
There's a
Yeah.
penalty.
$100 from Phil.
By the way, Phil won $1,000 from Besmar, so like he should easily.
What's $100? It's only
100
10%.
10%, and that was a promise made by
We're
Phil.
going to talk about that.
Oh yeah, episode's coming up.
Yep.
Do you want? good-looking, shirtless men doing
Good
the patio.
licking.
Good licking.
Good
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 licking.
looking. Good licking. Good licking.
It
too,
works
buddy.
too, by the way. Good looking,
good
shirtless
looking,
men.
good looking.
It all works.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
We've already seen one.
there's
You
some
on
good
the
licking.
podcast
You've already
today.
seen one nipple today.
I hope that's the last one we see it during this podcast.
I think it's the first nipple we've ever seen on Lockpod.
Unless there's been another shirtless photo of you, which is entirely possible.
Not really.
So
I wasn't dropping shirt before. Anyway,
tries.
Grisolia's Concrete. Grisolia's Concrete was voted #1 in the Times Best of the Region 2020. That's right. And
Updated
2021.
commercial.
You're right.
Updated read.
That's the only difference.
Good work, Kellogg.
They had 2 words. And 2021. Kellogg
and
charges
Steve's like, pay me.
30%. Thank you. Grisolia's Concrete specializes in all of your concrete projects, and they have been using the original cement finish in the California style. Ba-da-da-da-da. I know you missed us. Since 1972, and also offers stamped and colored concrete. For more information or a project quote, call Grisolia's Concrete at 219-659-4127. That's 219-659-4127.
And those are our first ads of the year. By the way, I want to ask Bernie to tell me what the most popular colored concrete is. Anyone want to take a guess on the color? What's popular?
Normal.
Gray.
Well, that's
Red.
I don't think that's
Red.
color.
Really?
It's a concrete gray.
that is
It
a
is.
color.
That's the popular
Sounds
color.
like the gray
It
kind.
is.
It's
What else
I think
is
if you're
there?
not going with gray, it's probably red, right?
Red.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
What other colors are there?
no.
Like
Navy blue?
burnt orange.
Burnt orange.
Oh, John.
Look at you,
Good
John.
call.
Yeah, blue.
I'm just guessing colors. I wasn't guessing colored concrete.
Okay, I'm going to tell you a story, Kevin.
All right, I'm ready.
My son goes to school at Marian Catholic. That's most people realize that it's located in Chicago, Chicago Heights, right?
Yes.
They have been going to school through the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They had the option of going, and my son went last year, wearing masks. Okay, and they have not had an outbreak. All right, kids are not getting sick. And Patrick wears his mask from the moment he walks into school till the moment he gets in my car. He doesn't give a crap. He's a laid-back kid anyway, but he's just like gets in, takes his mask off. Hey, Dad, what's up? I'm just not like, oh, my God, I'm choking, or oh, my God, this is killing me.
Sounds more like an adult complaint.
He's complaining more about the heat. It's like it's so freaking hot in the classrooms. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be in school right now. You should be in school after Labor Day, but we'll get to that another day. Okay, that's another one of mine. One day I'm going to become governor of Indiana, and across the state, I am going to free the kids of their summer obligations to go to school like August 10th. It's such ridiculous bullshit. I'm going to say after Labor Day, school will start.
the old way.
The old way. That's
And you
like
go
the way
till
we
June.
go. Right? Because this is the best time of year. Why are the kids in classroom right now? That's a whole different
They'd
story.
probably
right?
love to be home.
The moral of the story is Pat's been going to school even during the pandemic. They started like 3/4 of the way through last year. No sickness at all. Everybody wearing their mask. He's been going to school this year. No sickness at all. Everybody's wearing their mask. And to me, it's like no brainer.
I think the kids don't mind it as much. I've got a couple nephews that are 7 and 4. They have to wear their masks. They don't even say a
What
peep.
school district?
Munster.
Munster school? Munster Public?
Yeah, public. And then
So
I
Munster
forget
Public's
where, I
wearing
forget where
masks?
one of them goes to preschool. But anyway, yeah, elementary school kids are. And I was like, they didn't mind. They don't mind it. They don't complain.
By the way, kids in Asia, like kids in China, kids in Japan wear masks to school. They don't complain. They seem like they're doing all right,
I think the kids don't mind. I think it's the adults that think there's some sort of. And by the way,
It's my freedom. You
Yeah.
can't tell me what to do. I can't wear a mask. It's choking me.
I got to tell you, so over the summer, went to Europe for a little bit, and it's not political, at least what I could see. It's just like, okay, here we go. Yeah, when am I getting vaccinated?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Denmark is going to be 90% vaccinated by the end of August.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and
Do they wear masks in public in Denmark?
didn't have to when I was there. But
Outside.
if it's requested, you wear them.
Do you, like when you went into a restaurant, did you have to wear them?
Certain places. Not restaurants were kind of on their own, whatever they wanted to do, but museums and stuff, things like that.
But they have 90% vaccination, right?
They were going to, not when I was there, but yeah. But it's not. It just seems like it's not as political there. There just wasn't a deal. Like it's just like, okay, we're all signing up. They did it by age, and they were down to 30, and they were going to get the 30-year-olds and under, and then away they went.
So I know there's people from all across the country that listen to this show, and we appreciate you. And I'm not talking about a local issue because we try to keep them national and interesting. And this is something that's happening locally, but it applies all over. Okay, we do in Indiana. We do not have a mask mandate across the state or schools, or they leave it to local governments and local health officials. Okay, in Lake County, where I live, there's some school districts, like Kevin just mentioned, Munster schools are requiring masks.
I think in elementary,
Kids
I think, not in high school.
Hammond kids are wearing masks to schools, right? And then in Crown Point and some of the places further south, I know Lake Central is going through a huge debate right now, which is a big district in the southern part of our county, which is more Republican-leaning area of our county. Mm-hmm. There's a huge debate about mask mandates in schools.
They had a protest over wearing masks.
Hundreds of people showing up and like people getting fired up and the cops are being called and like it's like totally unprofessional.
Some lady hit somebody or spit on someone. I was like, whoa.
Good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So in Crown Point,
America.
Crown Point, a city I love. I know the mayor very well. The mayor's not in charge of the schools, but I always feel close because I have family. My nephews go to school in Crown Point, and they decided early on, no mask mandate in school. It's optional, which means nobody's going to wear them, especially for little kids. You're like the one kid in school that shows up with a mask every day, and everybody's you little freak, you got a mask on. I could see it already, right?
It was like, remember when Trump was like shaming Biden over wearing a mask during the campaign?
So can you imagine little kids that are like already like feeling weird about themselves, and they're the only ones in class with the mask because they want to be safe during a pandemic? Mm-hmm. So like what we should be doing as parents is saying, let's be safe. These kids aren't even vaccinated yet. Let's just have a mask mandate so that our school could be like the school Mayor Tom's kid goes to where there's no problems at all because everybody's wearing a mask. What's the big deal? Everybody should be wearing a mask. It's school. These kids are not vaccinated.
Yeah, and I think, you got to remember, it's not just the kids they're protecting themselves against. Let's say they live with a grandparent who has a health condition, or let's say they live with somebody at home that is worried about catching it. I mean, there's all this. It's I just think it's just be smart. Get them vaccinated. Get vaccinated if you can get vaccinated is, I think, the message I keep thinking to myself. And if you decide not to, just be careful.
So is it any big surprise now, a few weeks into the school year, in Crown Point where masks are optional? And I'm just picking this one because it's on the front page of our local paper. 600 kids are in quarantine right now, isolating because they've been exposed to COVID and the Delta variant. And it's like a big shock, right? No, it's not a shock. And guess what? You're not reading about in the Catholic schools that are requiring their kids to wear masks to schools. You're not reading about these stories because the kids are wearing masks. This isn't freaking rocket science. It's no surprise that there's 600 kids isolating right now because they're not wearing masks. And we're in a damn pandemic. Is it really that difficult to understand? Like, I don't get it, America. I just don't get it.
I think if everybody gets the fact that we're back in this situation is disappointing to me. It's just annoying to me that we're even having to deal with masks again. Because in reality, we all know that the numbers say that those that are in the hospitals and those that are dying are the unvaccinated, at least the overwhelming majority, because if you don't have the shot, you have more chance of being hospitalized and dying. So
I know two people, friends of mine, both of whom died, both of whom were unvaccinated, both of whom died recently of the Delta variant.
Yeah, it's just
recently,
I don't want
like
to see that happen.
within the last 6 weeks. Two people I know that passed because they didn't want to get the shot, and they get sick from COVID and they go to the hospital and die.
Yeah, I don't want to see that happen to anybody that I'm close with, anybody that I'm not close with. I just want to see people get healthy, get over this damn thing, and let's keep back to normal.
America is sort of doomed right now, in my opinion, and it's going to take leadership to get us out of this situation, and I don't see the leadership with our current U.S. senators. I could tell you that.
I was happy to see. You told this story, and I agree with you, by the way, Mayor. One of the things you said was, when I went, you told this story. I forget where, but recently you're like, hey, when I went to the military and I had to sit in line and get my shots, there were 6 shots. Boom, 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 boom.
They give them to you at once, Kevin. These guns. They hold the guns to your shoulder, and they go 3, 2, 1. I got 6 shots at once. Like guns, though.
Did they say, like, which one do you not want?
No, they didn't negotiate with me. Hey, do you want number 3? No, I'll skip number 3. I'll take 1, 3, 5, and 7. Like, nobody does that. Like, I when that article came out in the paper, like, President Biden orders military to get COVID vaccine. It's like, dude, why is this a story? They're property of the U.S. government. You're a person, but you're property of the U.S. government. They don't ask you. You're getting the shot. That's all they say.
Yeah.
And, it's America is, I tell you, John, your cancel culture and all that you're always railing against, I'm jumping on board. I think we're in a dangerous spot as a country. I really do. And we could go one way or we can go the other way. And
Mayor, one of the things you got was a mailbag, and you got a mailbag mask thing.
Yeah,
you want to read that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Since we're on vaccines, John, mailbag.
Mailbag. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad for the first time back.
That was great.
We were off
okay.
for 7.
I loved it.
We were off for 7 weeks.
Yeah,
John.
I'll get
7
it.
freaking.
I gotta
weeks.
wet the lips a little bit.
Wet
more.
the whistle.
No, I don't want the lips wet. Okay, I mean
I
we're
do.
off for a
You
damn
passed
7
COVID.
weeks.
I want the whistle wet.
Yeah, right. You're spitting my direction when he's doing mailbag too. By the way, John, we had 7 weeks. You could have like
Practiced in front of a mirror.
Hey,
Or how about just like do something? We could just push a button. Like
Let's give John some credit.
mailbag.
We're on, aren't we? I mean, we're actually the podcast is actually on.
That's true.
And we're triple digits still. I mean,
Wow, we're holding them.
That's solid.
Read this mailbag.
Mailbag from Loretta. It's a lovely, lovely letter. I don't know why I read these. It just encourages more bad letters. You realize this.
I love it.
I read the shitty
love
letters,
it.
and then I get more shitty letters. It's like, hey, he's reading this stuff. Let's go. All right. This is from Loretta F. All right. Dear Honorable McDermott.
Well, at least she was polite in the greeting.
And then it
says
goes,
the Honorable McDermott.
Wait for it.
She's being sarcastic because it goes down.
It goes south.
Dear the Honorable
quickly.
McDermott. It starts heading downhill
The best
quickly.
part of the letter.
Yeah, that is. As your constituent and your boss.
Wow.
See what I'm saying?
She's going right at you.
I got 81,000 bosses.
Yep.
She is one of my bosses. I demand. Oh,
Here we go.
I feel like I'm in the Navy again. I demand that you do everything in your power to ban vaccine mandates and passports. This is an unconstitutional deprivation of liberty without due process and is a critical issue to me. It is unconscionable that American freedom of movement would be threatened in an attempt to coerce people to get vaccinated, even as Anthony Fauci is urging masks be worn by the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. I'll be watching how you vote.
Oh.
Sincerely,
Loretta F. Thank you, Loretta.
I'm voting on anything?
I didn't
What
know
am
we
I
were
voting
voting.
on?
I didn't know we were
I'm
voting.
not a member of Congress.
Maybe she's saying, you know what? Maybe she's like, you're going to be senator, and I'm going to watch how you vote.
You think
Maybe
so?
she's hopeful.
Maybe
Maybe
she's
your
Loretta's
boss.
being like,
She's like, I got you.
she could have thrown that in.
That's
I
right.
know you're going to beat Todd Young.
Yeah.
You're going to be a comer next to us, and then I'll be watching you.
There you go.
That's would have been a better letter. I wouldn't have complained about
You'd
that.
have been like,
letter.
you know what? That's kind of positive.
A little bit positive, a little bit negative.
Mm-hmm.
Just putting me on notice. I'm going to be watching you, future senator. But she didn't say that.
Do you think she's read the Constitution?
I'm sure she's.
She might have a
fluent.
pocket version. What did I
She's
do
fluent,
with mine?
I'm
I'm
sure.
bringing that up.
Like a Spark Notes?
I'm bringing that up here.
I think she's fluid in it, but she's not. I don't know if she was a supporter of mine. I don't get that feeling.
Maybe early on. Now she's
I don't
she's
think
wondering.
Depends on how you vote.
Depends
You know,
on how you vote.
You mentioned Lake Tahoe. Look at that, right like that. The Rickover just fell over.
Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, you know, Lake Tahoe has as Mayor mentioned, has a special place in his heart near where he grew up.
If you haven't ever been, have you guys been to Lake Tahoe?
I've
No.
never been to Tahoe.
No, Jill,
No.
John.
Not.
No.
One of our sponsors goes a lot.
Guys?
Rick Baltenberger is there a lot.
Yeah, Rick
he's-
Baltensberger's
I think his
family.
folks have a place there.
Yeah, they have a place on the north side. And I'm very familiar with Lake Tahoe. I've gone there my whole life.
Split by 2 states, right?
Yeah. The lake goes right down the middle of California, right at the crook of the eastern crook of California and Nevada. That's where Lake Tahoe is, right there. Literally, like right at the crook where
Gotcha.
it angles off.
Yeah.
And it's the most gorgeous place in the world. One of them.
Do you go California side, Nevada side, both?
Usually stay on the California side.
Okay.
I'm partial.
All right.
But I ski there a lot. I go there in the summer a lot. It's a great place to golf, great place to hike, great place to swim, great place to ski. Like, gorgeous. The water is so blue in the middle of like trees and mountains and
Chilly
really
water. Must be deep.
constantly cold. It's super deep. It's 2,000 feet deep, something like
What?
that. Yeah. 'Cause
2,000
it's a
feet
gorge.
deep.
It's a gorge, and it's just like runoff from the mountains that comes in and fills it. And
If I
it's
want to go to Tahoe, how do I fly there? Where do you fly
Reno.
into? Sacramento?
Reno. You can go to Sacramento, but it'd be easier to go to Reno.
Reno.
But-
all right.
So unfortunately, Lake Tahoe is on fire right now.
Have you ever heard of that in your life?
Mm-mm.
Tahoe
I was
on
there.
fire.
We do our family reunions there. We haven't done it in a few years. The last time we did one was probably 2018, 2019. And gosh, John's showing an aerial right there. See that?
Oh my gosh, look at that.
That's the Caldor fire that's burning toward. You can see which way the prevailing
Wow.
winds are taking. It's
Yeah.
blowing it right towards South Lake Tahoe.
So
You
that's
can see
that's the
smoke.
lake. That's Lake Tahoe right there.
Yeah, and on the very south edge of that is South Lake Tahoe. That's where like there's, especially on the Nevada side, there's like $5 and $10 million homes over there. They're gorgeous. It's Heavenly Valley. That's like a ski resort. Sierra Ski Resort got burned up already, which is in the
Oh,
this is
right.
all. By the
Yeah,
way,
yeah.
it looks flat right now, but that is like 10,000, 13,000 foot elevation. So it's super hard to fight it. And the winds are just taking it right towards South Lake Tahoe, which is where all the casinos are, all the tourist events we see, the big golf outing they have every year. It's all like right there.
So Reno would be what, to the southeast?
No, to the north.
To the north.
Yeah,
Okay.
to the
so
north.
Reno's
Carson
the top.
City's to the north.
Okay.
Reno's way to the north. But that's all mountain. All the green stuff you see, the desert is over on the other side, but all the green stuff you see is all mountains. You have to drive straight up the mountains to get to Lake Tahoe. It's hard to appreciate it when you look at that. But Lake Tahoe's on fire. And my entire life I grew up going there, and we never had problems in the summer. You'd go there. It would be the best place to visit in the summer. I went there 3 years ago in the summertime. I couldn't even see the lake from where we were staying because of this.
No kidding.
Because there was a fire not close. There was a fire, but you couldn't even see the lake, and it smelled like campfire all the time. The sky was orange. It was like, this isn't Lake Tahoe. And that's what it looks like today. I mean, you can see that picture. That's what Lake Tahoe looked like when I was
Look
there.
at that. There's a chairlift, and you see the
Everything is
embers
on
there.
fire. It's
Crazy.
Heavenly Valley is going to burn. All the trees that we see.
They said Heavenly's going to burn?
Heavenly's going to burn, for sure.
Wow.
Unless something miracle happens. And if it gets to the casinos and all that, I mean, you're talking billions of destruction. The casinos are right there on the south end of the lake.
If you look at that fire that earlier, probably still going, but earlier in the year, I forget how big it was, 500,000 acres or something. It just basically incinerated a couple towns. Like they're gone off the map.
I'm telling you, Grizzly Flats.
Yep.
It was a mountain town. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to see from climate change. You're going to see it on the ocean towns, the towns that are too low and too close to the ocean that for years have been fine, but now they're not going to cope. People are just going to move away. You can't even save it. Climate change isn't going to get better. It's going to get worse. Like, I don't know if you'll ever be able to go to Lake Tahoe in the summer again. I mean, I don't know if it'll ever be like it was when I was a kid, where you could like see the sky and see the water and like just appreciate it for what it was. Now it's like hell
Fire
on
country.
earth. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
There's a season in California that they never had when I was a kid. I'm only 52 years old. It's fire season.
I think you've said I've heard you on the campaign trail, I've heard you on other places say when you were growing up in California, which would be from when you were born to when you were 18.
69 to
87.
Right.
One fire.
One fire in my life.
That you remember.
It was a big one, too. I remember. It was a big deal. We were like, wow. Like, never even thought. There's fires every single year now. Every single year in multiple locations that are out of control and just flare on until the weather changes. By the way, it's hot in California this time of year. In Lake Tahoe, it's never hot. It's 90 plus right now. It's never
and
hot.
Look
in
at
Lake Tahoe.
Washington and Oregon this year. Now, I mean, you don't want to take 1 year as like, oh, it's going to be like. But we'll see what happens in the next 5 years. If it's like that every year, you think there's something.
It's because our country is dumbing down. It's like we don't want to listen to smart people like scientists. We don't want to listen to smart people that talk about vaccines. Why? Because I listen to Facebook. Mm-hmm. My buddy Joe on Facebook told me that the vaccines are bad. My buddy Joe doesn't believe in climate change. It's like, what about this PhD doctor? No. My buddy Joe on Facebook knows way better.
Yeah, I heard somebody say there's not enough evidence about it yet. Really?
Right.
Because when you, I don't know, go to the doctor or go to the hospital and they shoot you up with other things, you ask them, like, what's in that?
How about
just say,
that?
Okay, is this going to make me better? Great, put it in me.
How about the FDA approval of the vaccine?
Yeah, I thought that would
Did that
be
change
helpful.
anything?
No.
John, does it change anything?
What was that?
The FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine?
I think it does a little bit.
That's
Do you?
encouraging
God, I
to
hope
hear.
that's true.
I do
hope that's
too.
true.
Like I heard a lot of people saying, "I'm waiting until the FDA."
Well, you know what it
approves
I think you're going to see a wave of new vaccinations.
I hope that's
true. You know what?
Why, John?
Because the FDA approved it. That was Tom.
I
You're
hope-
right. That was a huge
Good.
response for
Thank you.
people.
I'm glad you're
weary
saying that because I like you, John.
vaccinations.
I love you, John. You're one of my friends. I get worried about you, man. I mean, straight up, this isn't a bit.
We don't want John to have COVID.
Like, and I remember you and I was listening to back episodes because I was missing you guys, and I didn't want to tell you.
Oh,
that. I was
that
listening
was
to one
nice
of the
of
back
you.
episodes, and John was saying we were talking vaccines, and John was like, "I'm not doing it because it's not, it hasn't been tested. Once the FDA approves it."
Oh.
John said that. I was listening a few days ago. I was like,
John?
I'm going to
Yeah.
confront him. You did say
I
that,
didn't say
right?
it hadn't been tested. I said it hadn't been FDA approved.
And
go.
all right, so
Yeah.
John, are you signed up yet?
Not yet.
All right.
I'm gonna
All right.
take
I like
you.
the not yet though.
We're doing a lock pod.
We're
pop
getting
up.
there. We're gonna do a pop up when John gets vaccinated.
Oh my God! Can you
That'd be
imagine?
great.
I think that would be great.
That'd be great.
think
And
that'd
like
be
I
great.
go into a seizure. I'm
He
the
just
one.
collapses.
I'm that really rare case.
That would be a huge episode.
We're
though.
like, man, I think John was right. I guess John was
Go
right.
viral, yeah.
We would get so many new subscribers.
Like, wow,
John.
John was right.
John actually knew what he was talking
Dude,
about.
that would have been awesome. It's like we lost John that day, but we got
We got a
1,000
hell
new
of a lot of
subscribers.
subscribers. Chris Campbell, get in here and do the board.
Yeah, dude. John's got a backup quarterback now.
All right, listen, we
you
got a lot
guys
to
are
talk about. It's
assholes.
getting late, so we're going to do ads, and we're going to come back and talk about U.S. Senate.
All right, let's go. You start.
All right, Tri Electronics wants to be your complete communications provider.
And you want to be my complete communications provider.
You say that so nicely. I was going to say something. Tri Electronics has been a leader in this industry for more than 55 years. We're dedicated to assisting our clients with their systems integration needs. Tri Electronics has the expertise and experience to provide superior results for a wide variety of projects. For more information, call Tri Electronics. Tri Electronics today at 800-722-6793.
Calumet Brewery. Calumet Brewery wants to tell you about Michelob Ultra. Tell me, please. Well,
Exclamation point.
Michelob Ultra is a superior light beer with only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, all while being one of the fastest growing brands in the region. Or try Ultra Pure Gold, an organic light lager with only 2.5 carbs and 85 calories, brewed for your healthy lifestyle. Enter to win a Michelob Ultra golf bag through calbrew.com.
Wow.
Check out Calumet Brewery's Facebook page for details.
A lot of information there. Tortillas Nuevo
Dude,
Leon.
I'm an athlete. I
see
drink
that.
Ultra Pure Gold.
Ultra.
I drank 24
Gotta
of them
say, I
last
haven't
night.
seen that, but I want to see it now.
I'm
Ultra
super
Pure Gold.
Yeah, that's
For your
right.
healthy lifestyle.
That's right.
Like I just drank, I don't know, 24.
Instead of drinking, Michelob Ultra, I pounded some
You
Ultra
saved the
Pure Gold.
0.1 carbs and the 10 calories.
Dude, times that by 24.
Good point.
You'll be
That's
seeing what I'm
240
talking about.
calories.
That's right.
You saved.
I saved. That's right.
Tortillas Nuevo Leon is the gold standard of Mexican cuisine throughout the Midwest. Look for Tortillas Nuevo Leon's popular red and white label at your local grocery store and enjoy quality Mexican products made with local expertise.
There it is.
Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón. Tortillas Nuevo León, hechas con amor, para ti y tu familia de todo corazón.
So nice to hear Eli. I missed that.
I was listening to the show where we came up with that idea.
Uh-huh.
We were like, we need to get Eli on this.
And there it is.
It was a good show.
20 episodes later, it's a staple.
By the way, we do have back episodes for all of you out there.
That
If
are
you wanna-
subscribing.
If you're like, where did this come from? I love this. You can go to the back episodes. Right, Jill?
Sure.
You know
Joe
what's,
listens to them all the time.
you know what's nice too is that Lockpod owns that song forever.
Yeah, for $200.
Can't
Don't
wait.
tell,
Awesome.
don't tell the
Eli.
Martinez family
We're
that.
waiting until it goes big time.
Big time.
I got it on tape, baby.
I think the Martinezes are ready to have it go big time.
Midwest Air Duct Cleaning. At Midwest Air Duct Cleaning, your health is our number one priority. We are dedicated to providing top-notch quality services at an affordable price. Our technicians have been trained to shelter the members of your household from potential airborne contaminants. If you would like more information on how to protect the lungs of your home, call Marinko and his team at 219-671-8868. That's 219-671-8868. Thank you, Midwest Air Duct Cleaning.
And thank you to all our sponsors.
Awesome. We got 2 more mailbags that lead into the final topic, which is about
read
me
'em. Read
running
'em.
for the United States Senate of the United States. The
Last
Senate-
time of the
United States
Senate of the United States.
yes, against Todd Young, who I consider to be a pretty tough candidate. I mean, I'm not even going to say
Well, you're
pretty
no
tough.
slouch either, but
I'm no slouch, but he's a good candidate. I mean, he could snap his fingers and raise $5 million.
according to him, he could do 150,
Isn't that-
200 million.
I know. It's all about money. It has nothing to do with who's your voters, right? I'm going to raise 100 million, 150. I don't care. I'll raise whatever it takes to
Do you
win
hear
this
that?
race.
Do you hear that? Any takers?
Right.
Anybody wants to come
It's
at
like,
me?
why don't-
150 million.
Why don't you convince the who's your voters? You're good. You don't
Mm-hmm.
need to raise 150 million. Just tell them what you've done.
Maybe he's going to do
Or
that
that-
through
or
many
not done.
commercials with the
Yeah.
150 million you can buy in commercials.
This is from Kevin C.
It was not me.
I saw you were considering running for the U.S. Senate. Good luck with that effort. I would love to be involved in your campaign in some way. Know it's early days yet, but I would love to hear from you at some point. Good luck and have a great day.
Thank you.
That's
See, that's
nice.
you already say like all this negative stuff. That was a very nice
That
one.
was nice. There's another
All
nice
right.
one.
Here we go.
This is from James S. I read where you're going to... Oh, comment. Sir, I read where you're going to run against Senator Todd Young. I think it's a great idea. I'm tired of knowing there is a Trump bootlicker in that position.
I love that term.
Consider
Bootlicker.
me one of your supporters. This is James S. from Indianapolis.
James S. Good use of the word bootlicker.
And Kevin was from Hammond, but James from Indianapolis. So we are
Nice.
getting some action. Thank you very much for the mailbag.
You know,
And,
last time I checked, you were saying you weren't going to make any decision until after the Chicago Tri.
Right.
So
I intended to do that, I intended to.
and instead it was kind of news down in French Lick.
Yeah, well, we were thinking, the thing is, let's talk about how this went down, right? Because I think it caught both of us off guard. Is that a safe statement?
That's fair.
Okay, so now, if you remember, I ran for Senate. I ran for U.S. Congress last year.
Started this podcast.
and then I went through a crisis, and we started a podcast. I bought 2 cars. we don't need to get into all
Decided
that.
to be a triathlete.
We got 100 episodes out there. You can go through the whole
to talk
story.
about Tom's psychological.
Yeah, somebody was telling me a couple weeks ago, they're like, you said on your podcast that your career was over and you would never run for anything again. And I was like, dude, I was mourning. And I had a microphone in front of
I
my
thought that
face.
was my favorite part
It's
of that
true.
quote. You're like, yeah, I was in a grieving process and I just happened to have a microphone
There's a
in front of my face.
microphone right at my lips. And I think when people are grieving, they say a lot of shit that's,
I think that's
they may
fair.
not. So anyway, we got done last race, and we knew that we were going to keep our federal account open.
Sure, just in case. It doesn't hurt.
Right, because you don't want to go through that whole process again. And we had some records that we wanted to forward to the next campaign. So we were like, well, I have to claim an office. You can't just like keep an account open. You have to say what you're running for.
Sure.
So at the time, I had 4 options. This is our treasurer, Bob Lundy, calls and is like, okay, what are you running for? I was like, okay, go through the options. He said, United States president in 2024. I'm like, we'll hold off on that.
Too
one.
early to tell.
Yeah,
Let me get some triathlons under my belt.
Right. Yeah. So and keep in mind, this is right after I lost. So, am I running for president? Nah, we'll skip that one. Right. Mm-hmm. Then he's like, you could run against Mike Braun in 2024. I was like, okay, I think I could beat him, but that's 2024. What are my other options, Bob? He said, you can run against Todd Young in 2022. I was like, well, that's 2 years closer, but he's tough for sure. Like, he's an ATM machine. He snaps his fingers and gets $5 million, right? So I'm like, okay. And then what's my other option? He said, you can file for a rematch against Frank Mervan in 1st Congressional District. I was like, okay, just put that one down.
Just keep it where it was.
Because I wasn't loving Frank.
Well, you'd have to move it.
Obviously, we were like, I was salty. I just lost to him. It was a tough race, right? Our team and their team didn't love each other. And I was like, that's the easiest one. I'm not going to piss off Senator Young or Senator Braun, and I'm certainly not going to file the run against Joe Biden. What's the easiest one is Frank, right? So I'm filing against Frank for a rematch in 2022, and we did nothing at that point other than change the form, right, Kev?
I didn't have to do anything to change the form. It was already you're right. We just had to check the next box, 2022.
But did we get media attention off of that?
No.
No media attention. We didn't raise any money.
No.
We didn't spend any money. We just checked a box.
Very little.
Right? We just checked the box, said, okay, I'm running for rematch, kept our federal account open, and my life went on. Okay? I didn't touch that account. We just filed the required disclosures, but we weren't raising or spending anything, so it was easy.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So, we come to the point in our lives where Kevin and I are talking about, I'm seriously considering running against Todd Young. There's some speculation in the media. I'm getting asked constantly about it. And I'm also being asked, am I running against Frank? Because my federal forum says I'm running against Frank.
It does, and
all this talk
primary's coming up.
And the primary's coming up, and all this talk is I was running for against Todd Young, and so we were getting ready to go to French Lick, right? And I get together with Kevin and Bob, my treasurer, and we're talking through our options. And Bob's like, "Why don't we just change our designation off of Frank because you're not running against him? Why don't you just change it to Todd?" We did it last time. Nobody paid attention. We can do it. And this is all of our thinking. It's not just Bob's thinking. It was my thinking, too.
Yeah.
Kevin's thinking also. We did it last time. Nobody paid attention. Right? So, let's do it again. And nobody, it's just like one checkbox, right? Who's going to pay attention to stupid little designation check mark? Right? We didn't do press releases, anything like that. We're just like, okay, we'll do this. We'll go to French Lake. And when people ask me if I'm running, I'm like, yeah, I got a federal account and it's filed against Todd Young. It was just another quiver.
Kind of like, we're going to be in French Lake this weekend. It's nice to at least talk about it because everyone's going to be asking anyway.
Right.
And
it's like, are you running? It's like, well, I have a federal account. It's McDermott for Indiana. It's not against Mervan. It's against Todd Young. So we change it, expecting we're going to have to probably tell people what I did within 2 minutes.
Yeah, no more than 5.
It was retweeted by a bot.
There's this Twitter bot that watches FEC filings,
and they tweeted McDermott files a run against Todd Young within minutes.
I started getting texts, and I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a little bit different than what we thought.
Dan Carden from the Times calls up right away within the first 10 minutes. Dan Carden's a great reporter for the Northwest Indiana Times. Calls up, hey, you're running against Todd Young, and I'm like, shit, this did not go according to plan, completely unaccording to plan, and now we're like, I got no logo. I got no campaign manager. I mean, other than Kevin and I, who are always a team, we have no staff at all.
No.
So basically, the world sort of
it changed pretty quickly. I mean, it hit the AP wire. It hit Indianapolis Star, Chicago Tribune, and reporters were calling, and people were asking me what was going on, and I was getting tweets, and I was getting DMs, and I was getting texts, and everybody's like, "How can I help? I want to get on board." And I'll tell you, I think one of the things that I thought you felt good about was when we did go down to French Lick, and in a way, the fact that it got out like that made for quite a splash at French Lick, which is interesting. I mean, people really. I noticed you walked in a room, and it was like everybody was like.
It was my shirt. I was wearing my Hawaiian shirt.
Well, that was funny too. Actually, you're like. I was like, Tom, we got to go to this thing. It's like a sponsors thing. And you're like, no, I'm just hanging out here at the bar. We're talking to people. And you're like, you got to go. I mean, like Senator Donnelly's there. Senator Bai's
and
there.
Everybody's wearing suits.
Mike Schmuel's there. Everyone was kind of and you're like, look at me. I got my Hawaiian shirt. I was like, well, Tom, that's you.
I got my
Let's go.
I got my Hey Dudes on. I don't even wear socks. I'm like, dude, this is like a
you
fancy
walked in
thing.
and it was great. And everyone welcomed you and was excited for you. I think you had a really good conversation with Senator Bai.
Yeah.
You had a conversation with Senator Donnelly.
Senator Bai is still in the grieving process. He lost his wife,
Yeah, Susan.
a few months ago.
Yeah.
His wife, Susan.
He was there with Bo, so
Right.
that was nice.
Which is interesting in itself.
That's going to be a story. And I heard
Yeah.
that. And he's back practicing law in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
So,
Bo Bai.
yeah.
Which,
so.
and, Senator Bai hasn't been active in the political scene in a couple of years, other than he ran for Senate against Todd Young. And as he told me,
2016.
Todd Young kicked his butt.
Yeah.
I really think, honestly, though, Senator Bai is like the politics changed and, it changed.
Between when he resigned in 10
Yes.
and when he ran
Yes.
against.
It changed
I
a
agree.
lot. It changed a lot
significantly.
And I think it caught him off guard, personally.
Yeah.
Because Senator Bai was always on top of the game and one of the best that you've ever seen. And during the 6 years he was gone, things changed a lot.
Unbelievably.
Yeah.
Unbelievably.
Right.
I mean, you went from, think about it, 2012 was Mitt Romney, 2016 was Donald Trump. I mean, think about how the politics changed in those 4 years.
Yeah. Mitt Romney, who he was a presidential nominee for their party.
Mm-hmm.
And now most people consider him an outlaw of the Republican Party.
An outcast, yeah.
Yeah, an
It's
outcast.
crazy.
Right. John, do you consider him an outcast of the Republican Party?
Yeah, he's a rhino, man.
Wow. Rhino, think about that.
That's craziness.
I agree.
So basically, the Republican Party is the party of Trump, right, John?
I don't think so. Do you guys think he has as much power as
I
as some
don't
saying?
think so, but I'm not sure yet. Like it seemed, well, here, though, think about this, John.
I don't know.
You don't say he has that much power, but one of the things that Mayor Tom commented on about Todd Young was the
Right.
flip-flop, right? Where, like, Todd Young was supposed to be this, like, bipartisan, I'm going to support the infrastructure bill, we're going to do this,
The
we're going
$1
to get this
trillion
through.
infrastructure bill, which
And then all of
brings
a sudden-
hundreds of billions to Indiana.
Absolutely, or
Right.
billions. I don't know.
Billions.
Yeah. And
Tens
then,
of billions. How about that?
Sure. And then, well, you brought this up, right? Then all of a sudden he gets a tweet, or Trump tweets something, and
Trump can't tweet.
it's like, oh, you're right. I'm sorry. He did some
Press
posted
release.
something, press release, and next thing you know, Todd Young's like,
Yeah.
I wasn't supporting this.
He flipped. He was part of the
I'm against it.
Right?
It's too much money, too
Yeah.
much debt.
So basically,
So maybe he does have some.
there's
power
6
over
million.
some people.
There's 6 million people that live in Indiana, and there's one person that's that's orange and lives in Florida, and that person holds sway over our U.S. Senator Todd Young.
And
so much
Braun.
so that of course, but we're not talking about Braun right now because Braun's 2 years away from this roasting we're giving. But Todd Young, Todd Young switched his vote, and he's potentially turning away billions of dollars for Indiana, a lot of which would help my city, help Indianapolis, help South Bend, help Evansville,
Every
help Fort
place
Wayne.
in the state, every little corner of the state.
Bridges and roads. Like, you really happy with the infrastructure? We've been rebuilding Afghanistan, and we haven't been rebuilding, Indiana,
Yep.
which is crazy, right?
Yeah, all true, Mayor. And I think that's the thing.
We've been
is-
rebuilding Kabul and not Kokomo. How about that?
oh, wow.
know.
It's true.
John, right?
It's true.
This
There's
is
the slogan.
Campaign.
We've been rebuilding Kabul and
Better than
ignoring
we have,
Kokomo,
yeah.
right?
How about that?
I want to focus on Kokomo and say forget about Kabul. I mean, obviously, what's going on there is a tragedy, but like, it's there's nothing.
Billions and billions and billions of dollars in there.
I tell
and
you.
Where are the billions and billions of dollars at home?
I feel horrible what's going on. I do. I feel like America is running. I do. But at least we're going to be out of there. And we're
Well-
not going to be spending $400 million a day, which I think that we spend $400 million a day in Afghanistan right now with our military presence there. And that's coming off the bottom line. We could be spending, if we spent $400 million a day in America, we could build like 4 new high schools
For infrastructure.
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Instead, we're rebuilding Kabul.
And I like the way that the infrastructure bill and the American Rescue Plans worked. The money has gone directly to the localities. It didn't go to the states first and then trickle
Right.
down. It was like, here, we're going to get it to the cities.
Like,
We're going to get it to
Hammond,
every...
Indiana,
Yeah.
got 50 million.
Yeah, 52 million.
And the school's got like 40 something. So $100 million of American Rescue money came to the city of Hammond. And my U.S. Senator voted against that, Todd Young. He has completely lost touch with reality. If he doesn't think that a city like Hammond or a city like Kokomo or a city like Fort Wayne or Evansville
Or
or
a
South
town,
Bend
all the
or
towns,
Indianapolis,
everybody, right?
We need this money.
That's
We
right.
need it badly, and he's turning it away. And he'd rather spend it in
To
Afghanistan.
be partisan, by the way. I mean,
And
and that's
absolutely.
the thing. You're not
Because of
thinking
one
about your
person.
voters.
So
But he can
people
raise
think
150 million, though.
Kevin, people think I'm crazy. I had a good supporter of mine come up the other day, and he's like, "Tom, are you crazy? Like this state doesn't like Democrats." And I'm like, "Listen, man, Mike, I'm going to beat this guy because I believe in America, and I believe that There's people that voted for Donald Trump and believe in every word he says. They're not going to vote for me. Okay. But there's a lot of people like John that were like, wow, I'm sort of like unsure of where this party's heading right now. I'm going for his vote. I'm going for votes to cross over, and I need all the Democrats to vote for me. That's how I beat Todd Young. It's not impossible. I'm not going to outspend him. I'm not going to outraise him. The guy is an ATM machine.
I think Indiana voters and Hoosier voters have a tradition of looking at the candidates pretty closely.
I hope so.
And
we'll find out.
It's a place where Obama won in 08.
I'm a better candidate.
Where Joe Donnelly won in 2012.
I would represent Indiana better than Todd Young. There's no doubt about it. But there's some people that don't care about that. There's some people that are like, I just want somebody that's going to support Donald Trump. If that's how you feel, I'm not your person. No way. I'm going to listen to Hoosiers. And I'll tell you what Todd Young does to me. I'm a Democrat mayor from Lake County. He just ignores us. He doesn't. He's been to Hammond once since I've been mayor. Okay? Once. And I tell you.
He was in your office.
He was in my office. But I tell you what, when I become your U.S. Senator, I'm going to go to places like Carmel. I'm going to go to Hendricks County. I'm going to go to Republican areas of the state and earn their respect. There's some people that lives in those areas that would never vote for me, but I tell you what, there's some people in there that would be open-minded enough to listen.
Well, I think getting you on the road and hitting Hoosiers all over the state's important, right? I mean, I think getting your message out. You've gotten invites, just crazy invites to go all over the state, and I'm excited to see you in those places.
In the JJ dinners?
Yeah, it's
I'm
awesome.
doing South Bend.
By the way, great job on your speech in French Lick.
Yeah.
That was just kind of like you got invited.
And
Thank
Todd
you.
Young's like home base.
Yeah, nice.
His wife is from Paoli, and we were giving a speech like right next door. And I know there's people that know him that were listening to what I was saying because I was taking it to him.
Well, I think one of the things that it's really refreshing to know that like as a veteran you guys are both veterans, so it's not like Todd Young's going to sit there and say like I'm a Marine.
I was a submariner.
Yeah.
Let's compare service, Todd, an intelligence officer, to a submariner.
Well,
I was underwater for months.
Yes,
I was
there's
a U.S.
lot
Navy
of good
diver.
intelligence officers.
I was a
out there.
U.S. Navy diver. Like I'll compare my service to anybody's. And by the way, he tries to tell me I'm not pro police. Get the hell out of here, Todd.
Yeah.
You get the hell out of here with that talk, Todd Young. All right,
That's insane.
Because my police support me, and I support my police.
Yeah.
And guess what? If I was ever a U.S. Senator, I would support the Capitol Police also, Todd. Like you don't give a shit about the Capitol Police, Todd Young. You don't. So don't say back the blue because that's a joke coming out of your lips, buddy.
It's going to be a fun race. I can already tell.
You know what's funny? I was talking to a friend yesterday that said, ever since you made this announcement, you seem happier. And I'm like, really?
You know what? I'm gonna back that.
That's funny.
I think that's true. It's either that or you're just like I'm a triathlete and look how
that makes me happy.
I know.
It does make me happy.
That
was a life goal. Honestly,
I'm seriously no shit here. I am really proud of you and impressed.
Thanks.
It was awesome.
That
really
is
cool.
incredible time.
Thank you,
And
guys.
3, not 1,
3.
not 2,
Yeah,
3.
like right,
Like
3 in 1 year.
Three
what
in-
is wrong with you,
How about
man? You
this?
proved your point.
3 in 3 months.
Well,
That's
after
crazy.
Leon's, when I said I'm doing Chicago, because I knew all along that's the one I wanted to do. But I was like, Jana looked at me like I was crazy.
Yeah.
And by the way, she would have killed it. Jana did Culver with us, and she won her age bracket. She won her bracket. She's a badass.
It was pretty impressive. And she
Dude,
when she passed me on the run, I was just like, oh God.
I know,
Here we
right?
go again.
By the way, like if somebody breaks into the house at night, Kevin's house, we know what's going on, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Kevin's like, Jana, I'll call the cops. You go down there and confront him, right?
She definitely outrun him, and I'd be caught behind. I mean, all right, Mayor.
Love
well,
our audience. We've been on for 40 minutes. Welcome back to the studio. I missed you guys. Good to see you, Jill. Good to see you, John. Good to see you, Kevin. Lindsay's 2 more episodes. Should be back on
we're gonna
Friday.
have Jill on Tuesdays and Lindsay on Fridays.
So that'd be
Whoa.
interesting. But Lindsay's still on a weird shift right now, but her shifts end, and she'll be able to do Friday morning shows from here on out. So we'll have Jill on Tuesday and Lindsay on Friday. We'll give you some variety. We're going to start bringing guests in again and getting back to normal. So we still have a lot of stuff saved up. I was taking notes the whole time we were gone, so I got some good topics
Oh, there's
coming
some
up.
good
Kevin's
stories
got good
coming.
topics.
Yeah,
So
some funny stuff.
Friday is going to be a good show. I'm looking forward to seeing you. Tell your friends, subscribe, do all that stuff. How do you subscribe again, Joe?
Well, let me get my notes out.
You're supposed to know this.
I don't
Like-
know this.
Welcome back.
You can probably download some stuff. Let's see. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. Download that.
All right.
And thank you to Powering America, our
Again.
premier sponsor.
And all the other sponsors. Welcome back. Thanks again. And I will see you guys on Friday.
All right.
Take care.